Man, ever since THF Bayzoo died, it's been just really just bad vibes in the rap and the drill game, man. I feel like THF Bayzoo, he was really a legendary figure when it came to these Chicago drill kind of streets. You know, he was so close with Dirk. He was OTF. He had the songs with King Von. Like, I feel like this was somebody that was really there and really survived through, this crazy era of like 2019, 2020 when Chicago drill really came back. And just everybody's been devastated by his passing away, man. But a lot more rumors and a lot more speculation has been going around about how he died and like who actually might have been responsible. Now, I'm honestly quite surprised that we've not had like a bigger update. We've not had like more theories. I haven't seen much, honestly, on Reddit, on YouTube, on Instagram. I haven't seen much to indicate that anybody seems to know what really went on in this situation, but there has been some speculation. There has been talk of a backdoor, and a lot of old clips of Bezu have kind of resurfaced recently that have kind of had a lot of people just looking at this situation with kind of a bit of a raised eyebrow. So I'm going to kind of recap everything that happened, and I'm gonna plug you into just like a little bit of commentary that's been going on because everybody's favorite whoopster from Chicago, FYB J Mane, has kind of been giving his 2 cents on the situation too, and it's been kind of interesting. It kind of gives you some insight into what might have gone on. So I just want to recap everything that's gone down real quick for you guys, okay? So this was the official news reporting in the Chicago Sun-Times said nearly 60 shots were fired in Little Village ambush that left a man dead and 2 others injured. So they're saying Devonshea Conquelin Collier, obviously THF Bayzoo, died in the Saturday attack that left 33 rifle and 24 9mm rounds on the scene in the 3100 block of South St. Louis Avenue. So I covered this at the time. I covered this story very quickly right after it happened, but I didn't really get a chance to like these sort of articles, the reporting from the police, these details hadn't really come out when I'd done my previous video about it. So I'm going to read this to you and you're going to get a little bit more backstory into exactly why and how this all went down. This says nearly 60 shots were fired in an ambush Saturday afternoon that left a man dead and 2 others wounded in Little Village. And if you saw the footage, you'll see there were 2 guys with Bezu, but it seemed like he was the main target. Unfortunately, the other guys did survive, but it sounds like they were also wounded. So Bezu, 35, and 2 other men aged 39 and 42 were walking back to their car in the 3100 block of South St. Louis Avenue after buying car parts to work on the 42-year-old's car around 3 p.m. Saturday. That's when 2 gunmen, one dressed in all gray, armed with a rifle, and another dressed in all black, armed with a handgun, jumped out of a silver 4-door Honda and opened fire before fleeing in an unknown direction, according to Chicago police reports that were obtained by the Sun-Times. So this is more information we've actually got from the police since that footage came out. And honestly, I can't it's actually crazy. We're really living in an era where you get the straight surveillance murder footage before you even get the police reporting on how many shots were fired. It's a messed up time, really. So people are saying Bezu of Grand Boulevard neighborhood was taken in critical condition to Mount Sinai Hospital, but he was shot twice in the head, twice in the abdomen, and 3 times in the back, and he was pronounced dead at 3:54 a.m. on Sunday. Police in the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office confirmed it. And obviously, if you were following the situation as it happened, this incident went down around 3 p.m. on Saturday, and I remember, I was at ComplexCon when this all went down, and then, we didn't know. They're saying it was 12 hours until he was pronounced dead. There was reports that he was fighting for his life, that he was on life support, or that he was going through surgery, he was going to survive, but unfortunately, it took 12 hours for them to pronounce him dead. The 39-year-old man was shot in the back, and another man, 42, was suffering gunshot wounds to the back, arms, and hip. And the police said both of them, fortunately, were in fair condition at Stroger Hospital. But the detectives recovered 33 rifle rounds and 24 9mm rounds from the scene, okay? And nobody is in custody as of yet. Now, this is just, it's even more chilling when you find out some of these details. But now, like, a lot of old footage of Bezu and interviews and things have been going around. And this particular no jumper interview has kind of like resurfaced, and basically a lot of people are saying, Bezu basically felt like he was untouchable. He wasn't going to get caught lacking. He wasn't moving sloppy out in these streets, and he really couldn't see himself. He couldn't have imagined things going down the way that it went. And he says something very interesting in this clip where he basically says the only thing he really fears is getting betrayed by his own people.
Do what they do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm standing on that shit with an iron fist. If a motherfucker catch me and do what they do, which it ain't gonna happen, I'm too advanced for these niggas. I sit and watch how these niggas lose their life. It ain't nothing to be bragging on, but these niggas flunkies to me, gang. Like, they ain't built for this shit. Like, I don't get caught lacking, man. Shit can happen to anybody, blood. Blink of an eye, you turn your head one second, man, the wrong move, motherfucker see you don't see them, it can happen, gang. Don't surround yourself in certain environments, you ain't gotta worry about that shit. I'm too much worried about one of my own snaking me out before I let a goofy get up on me, gang. That's just how I look at life. You feel me? Like, can't no nigga think farther than me, man. I realize I do this shit, bro. You feel me?
So you for the pushing the peace movement? Like,
yeah.
So look, Bezu basically was saying like, look, I can't see myself getting caught lacking like that. I can't see it happening. I move differently. I move correctly. Like, that's not going to happen. I'm more worried about people from my own side sliming me out and snaking me out and setting me up. And it's very sad and it's very chilling because it does make you think, well, we still haven't seen anyone in custody. We still haven't really got any rumors who was responsible. And Bezu had a lot of ops. Obviously, he was very close with Lil Durk and OTF. He's got a whole bunch of ops, whether it's 63rd. This could be old school beef, you know, like Brick Squad, Lil Jojo's lot. Like, there's so many people this could be involved with. 051 Yard Money. You know, there's even internal beefs. They were saying that O Block and OTF weren't seeing eye to eye. Who knows who could have been responsible for this, okay? So it is a really sad situation. It makes you wonder, maybe somebody close to Bezu did set him up. Like, he himself said that's possible. Now, what's really interesting is that our boy FYB J Mane, okay, he's popped out. Okay, he's basically popped out to give his thoughts on the situation.
Do your homework on Tay Savage.
So, man, I love J Mane, man. He's a legend. I want to see more of him, man. But basically, according to J Mane, he basically says that Tay Savage actually had plans to bring Bezu to J Mane's Chicago content house. I didn't know he even had a content house, but he apparently got a content house out there in Chicago and was really hoping like Tay Savage could try and keep Bezu out of trouble and get them on the content wave. And it's just such a shame this happened before that could have taken place.
Did your homework on Murder Town? Do your homework on Tay Savage. Say, he called me like, J Mane, I see y'all got the content house in Chicago right now. On phone number, I see y'all over whooping at the content house. On phone number, I was like, yeah, this some push and peace shit that we started over here. On phone number, I say this is a place the GDs, the BDs, the Vice Lords, on phone number great, phone number from out west, phone number from out south, and over east can come together and whoop in peace. Nothing happens over here. Ain't a shot been licked off. So taking that, I'm bringing you Timo and Bezu. Bro, to see Bezu die like a day or two after Tay Savage told me he finna bring that man to me, bro, that shit f*** me up, gang. That shit f*** me up. I say, Tay, what the bro? That's all it ain't that I blame Tay, but I'm Tay. You supposed to brought that man to me. Cause I just feel like if Bezu came to that content house, you know, it's certain shit that you do in your life, like you wouldn't even been here at that certain time. He probably would have still been with J Mane because the energy might have been just that damn good. You catching my drift?
So look, I really respect what J Mane is doing, man. Like having a content house in Chicago where you got all the gangs pushing peace, putting down their flags, putting down their weapons, and just coming together to make content like that. Honestly, I'll keep it real. That's one of the most inspirational things I've ever heard out of Chicago. So massive salute to J Mane for doing that, man. I really, really respect what he's doing. His whole push and peace movement, I have so much respect for. But the fact that he's got a content house in Chicago and he is literally trying to grab guys, take them out of the streets, and shout out to Tay Savage for playing his part in this too, man. I respect that so much. And I feel like I feel his pain, bro, because it's like, it might sound like he's over whooping a little bit, but real talk, bro, like he might have got Bezu out of that situation. Like Bezu might have come through to the content house, said, man, I'm having a good time here. We're making some content. Let me just stay a couple more. Like that, these type of interventions, bro, don't sleep on that because Chicago, this is the type of thing that's really going to help Chicago heal and getting guys out of that situation so they ain't around these places and they're over there making content. I just have the utmost respect, man. I feel his pain. Like that really, like these sorts of things are going to save lives. Real talk. It's no cap. Like I'm not taking a piss. I'm not over whooping. Like that can save lives. Okay. Imagine the guys that he's got in the content house right now was not locked in and they was out doing all sorts of nonsense in the streets, bro. So I've got to give the utmost respect to J Mane for doing that. Now, he would go on to say a few more interesting things in this clip that I'm gonna kind of touch on for you, okay? So next up, later on in the interview, all right, he even takes the Gucci cap off because, you know, it's a serious conversation, all right? But later on in the interview, he basically breaks things down as far as like how Chicago, the city itself works. And he basically says the murder of Bezu and then also the killing of 757 BA's baby mother, which we covered in a previous video. People were trying to say that maybe she backdoored Bezu and got killed in return, but now people are saying that it was just mistaken identity, but we still don't know if that's mistaken identity because they thought whoever was in that car might set up Bezu. If it was straight mistaken identity, unrelated situation, we don't know. But J Mane touches on this too and basically just says Chicago just keeps taking its own. It keeps taking good people out before they get a chance to get out. I'm getting emotional even like thinking about this because he's making really good points.
Oh, you going ball. Do your homework on every time they kill a motherfucker in Chicago, I lose a hair follicle. It hit different. Break the shit all the way down, Sean. They talking about J Mane, you losing your hair. Stop killing people. Y'all tweaking, bro. Y'all killed the whole Chicago. That shit fucking sick, Sean. These people is fucking sick, and they need to wake the fuck up. That shit lame, gang. They killing women. They just killed 757 BA baby mama.
But I don't want to put that on them, though. That's on the
I
internet,
didn't say that they did it. I'm saying Chicago did that, gang. Listen, Sean, Chicago is corrupt. Chicago is up. I was on the phone with...
So, like, I know he's kind of joking, but that's his personality. When he's talking about his hair falling out, he's joking low-key, but at the same time, like... Your hair falls out from stress. He's stressed. He's stressed out about what's going on in Chicago, and it's not cool. We all stressed out. Like, he's from there, okay? He's been involved. He knows a lot of these people. I'm not even from there, okay? But, like, I've valued the scene. I value the people there. Just because I report on the murders and the violence that goes on doesn't mean I condone it. Doesn't mean I'm happy about it going on, and it stresses me out too, bro. That Bezu news, like, me and Remo was, like, we was pulling our hair out, like, yo, is he alive? Like, what's going on, man? Like, people reaching out, like, we trying to get to the bottom of it, man. So I feel him, even though he delivers things in kind of a jokey way, that's real, okay? And I respect J Mane for everything that he's pushing, okay? And so basically after this, he basically explained how, look, a lot of these THF members, they're probably not on the same page anymore, and a lot of people, maybe they're getting too big for the program, or maybe the beef is so intense and so complex that there really ain't a way for them to squash this. Like, it's out of control at this point with THF.
I get him on Woops, but I talked to THF Rome, and then he was like, nah, G-Baby be thinking he bigger than the program, da-da-da-da-da. You catch my drift,
so that
and it be
explains
shit
why
that happened in the past. I don't know, but I don't have no problem with G-Baby. I don't know why the fuck he not on Whoops. I don't have a problem with a lot of people, but I'm gonna tell you like Rome told me, J Mane, I come on Whoops. You did your homework, go THF Rome. You know who that is? Now Rome, one of them niggas too, like Bezu. Break the shit all the way down.
So he's basically saying Rome's a serious guy from over THF, man. You can go watch my documentary about THF. We talk about all the different members, all the serious stuff that's going on. But he basically saying, like, he's trying to bring people together to do content and push peace. And I think a lot of people take his message maybe not so seriously because he is kind of like, you know, not necessarily serious all the time, but he's, even when he's not serious, he's being serious. And he's saying, look, he's trying to get the members over here to do whoops or interviews, however you want to call it. But like, it's more complicated than that. And sometimes he's saying the beef gets more complicated than he can even know. Now, after this, okay, J Mane basically goes on to break it down and basically say that, like, when he first heard the news about Bezu passing away, he says that he was confused, and he was saying that he didn't think that that would have gone down in this area. He actually says that this is like a Mexican gang area, and he was just surprised. He was surprised Bezu was over there. How could this have gone down there? Like, he was just confused when he first heard the news.
In the Uber in Chicago, first of all, when they told me where the fuck Bezu got killed at, they said 31st and Pulaski. I say, bitch, is that in Chicago or not? Like, that's not a block I ever heard of. He got killed in the Mexicans hood, Shine. It hit different. Say on BD on King David.
On BD on King David.
It hit different when you get killed in the Mexican hood, gang. That fucked me up, bro.
So he's saying that, like, he was confused at where it all went down, and there was a little moment actually earlier in this interview. I jumped over it, but basically there was a section earlier on around here where he was basically saying, like, you know, people were wondering why Bezu was getting around in an Uber, but J Mane basically explains that, like, look, if you're moving right and you've got things situated, like, you can move around Chicago in an Uber, but it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is a bit of a lack. Like, some people be getting caught lacking in the Uber. You only have to listen to, like, 2 seconds of a Bloodhound Lil Jeff song to find out about, you know, how people get caught up in the Ubers, man. It's crazy.
Is that a thing not to do in Chicago? You shouldn't take an Uber?
Shit, do your homework. Sometimes I take Ubers, Sean. Do your homework, and sometimes you ain't got no choice. It's the rack, folk. So sometimes, but do your homework on canceling your driver if you see the wrong motherfucker. Hold on, that's like one of them niggas head different. But sometimes a motherfucker, it'll be you gotta check your driver, like, hold on, it was a bitch that popped up, but it's a nigga driving, it's crazy. Break the shit down.
So, yeah, I personally, I mean, I probably would be getting them Ubers in Chicago, but it might be a shiesty in the back. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. But, you know, another thing that he brings up that was interesting is he basically says, look, Bezu probably had a false sense of security because he had his gun on him. But as we saw from that footage, there wasn't really any time to react. And he didn't see the threat coming from down the alleyway when, you know, it's easy to say from the footage, yeah, you should have seen that coming. But, you know, he was distracted. He was about to put some car parts in the back of the whip. Like, you can't be on point at all times, man. That's what I'm trying to say.
You whoop, Sean. You gotta be careful. So, I don't know if Bezu actually took an Uber to his low, but Bezu, he probably had it on him. If he was whooping like that, I'm sure Bezu had it on him. Like, cause put it like this, jumping in an Uber in Chicago,
So they're saying, look, he probably had it on him, right? But it wasn't good enough. And I feel like that's the thing. I feel like I meet a lot of rappers. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to snitch on anyone right here, yeah? But I meet a lot of rappers, and a lot of the time, dudes be like, yeah, I'm good. I got the security. I didn't need no security. I got the security right here. And it's like, bruh, you need the security watching your back, bro, because it's like you got to pull that thing out. You got to flip. I don't even know, bro. I don't deal with firearms, okay? But it's like you got to pull that thing out. You got to get the safety off, bro. That it might be too late, bro. So that's not enough. That's honestly not enough security for you, bro. Like, that's actually not enough. So J Mane will basically close out the interview. He would reflect on how he felt that there was a time when kind of things calmed down in Chicago, like in the real golden era when like him and Tay Savage were really pushing peace. And that was a beautiful moment. Shout out to Tay Savage. You know, I was doing my best to push Tay Savage's message during that period. And I really respect it. But now he's saying things have fired up in the streets again, man, and not everyone's on the same page no more, and a lot of these old beefs have got reignited, and that pushing peace stuff, man, it's not as easy as it looked a minute ago. That's what he's saying.
Sean, in Chicago, we did see shit calm down. We did see shit calm down. Now, this is do grow. This shit ain't even making my shit grow, bro. I'm talking about do grow. This shit don't grow. Now, in Chicago, what was the question? Damn.
Do you think shit gets crazier after this?
We seen the violence in Chicago slow down when J Mane and Tay Savage started pushing the peace. Cause you had all the real niggas like, hold on, is this what we on? Can we do this right now? Then when certain shit get to happening, some motherfuckers just naturally killers and they get tired of just keeping peace. For them, some motherfuckers is naturally fucked up and them motherfuckers that need to be locked up. You catch my drift? Some motherfuckers do need to. I can't say that. I can't say nobody really needs. It's hard to say motherfuckers need to be like. They don't need to be with us. They need to be somewhere else.
So look, I know a lot of the time, like the message and the messenger kind of gets a little bit mixed up, especially when it comes to J Mane when he's sometimes unserious. But look, I totally agree, man. We need to push more peace. I miss that era when we was doing pushing peace in Chicago. Unfortunately, look, I'll give you my theory right now. I feel like when Lil Durk went back to jail, he was a big part of why that pushing peace stuff wasn't going anywhere, because he clearly was not pushing any peace behind the scenes. Okay, and we find out more and more stuff by the day of how deep it was getting with Lil Durk and all the drama that he was in. And I think when Lil Durk got arrested, I feel like that pushing peace stuff really went out the window, because you had a lot of guys that were really puffing out their chests. They ain't have the bag like they used to have it. They ain't have the protection or the motion like they used to have it when Durk went away. That's no disrespect, but it is what it is. Bezu, when Durk's outside with the millions of dollars, that hits different. So when Bezu's outside and Durk ain't around and he's fending for himself and he's in places that he shouldn't have been and all that kind of thing, man. And that's no disrespect, but it's really just a case of like, I feel like when Durk went away, I think a lot of things went away, and that a lot of people who the OTF and the BDs had their foot on people's necks, those people breathing that, those people ready to come back. And I'm not condoning it whatsoever, but it's like there was a period when it was like Lil Durk and all of them were applying pressure to everybody, you know, all of the ops getting killed, everybody down bad, everybody going through problems, and now it's kind of like the shoes on the other foot because people ain't got the resources they used to have, and it's a very sad situation, and as Durk famously said in that song, man, laugh now, cry later. A lot of people were laughing a couple of years ago, now they're crying, and that's going to be the case vice versa, because this is a never-ending cycle. But look, if I find out any more information about what's going on behind the scenes with Bezu, you know I'm going to keep you guys updated. I thought that was just a really interesting bit of analysis from FYB J Mane. I really rock with his message, and I hope the push and peace can come back, man. Shout out to them. I might have to pull up to the content house, man. So FYB J Mane, you see me, man, see this, hit me up, man. I'm trying to pull up to that content house and push some peace and positivity with you guys, because I rock with that. Hope you found that useful, man. I'll catch you guys in the next video. I uploaded like 6 videos today. We still going, bro. We got more 6ix9ine clips coming tomorrow as well, man. You are not ready for this motion that's going on, man. I appreciate you, man. We up right now. Thank you so much. Go and watch my video on the main channel, Murder Memphis, all of that good stuff, man. But I'll catch you in the next video. I'm out of here. Peace.